Good evening, beautiful people. How are you on this wonderful Tuesday takeover? It is about 4:45 right now, and man, oh man, is it warming up out there. Just finally getting off of work. I do apologize for the late post. Just got up pretty early this morning, and it was too dark, so I wouldn't have had a good visual with my phone. Anyhow, did want to go ahead and get us jumping right into the 5 pillars to prosperity, and we're going to be talking about the second pillar to prosperity today, and that is pretty much spending time and giving effort to your family and loved ones, whether that's friends, peers, co-workers, things of that nature, but really specifically your family and your very close circle of friends. So when I say time and effort, I think we all feel like we give our friends and our family time and that we put in effort. But what I'm really referring to is making sure that we're not letting things like our career get in the way of keeping an emotional connection and building bonds with those that we love. And one of the things, this is near and dear to my heart, is because it's been a very big struggle and an opportunity of mine, because I am so driven in my career and trying to make sure that I'm setting up myself and my family and my children specifically for an easier financial future than what I've had. So, I've had a very difficult time balancing those things, and being a workaholic like I am, putting in on average 80 hours a week, and when I was running my business, oftentimes working 100 hours a week, it does not leave a lot of time for your loved ones. But what I'm wanting to really get to is just trying to make sure that you do have some balance. So, obviously, to get to the top in whatever career field that you're in, you do have to, put in massive effort, and you do have to work long hours. In a lot of cases, you're working 6 days a week. You're working, 10, 12 hours a day, if not more than that, especially if you're a business owner. And, that it doesn't leave a whole lot of time, and the time that you do have, often, you're pretty well spent, so try to just keep in mind that you really want to try to have that balance. So my best advice to you is whatever effort you're putting in to your career, if that's a major focus for you, because you're trying to, climb that ladder, you're trying to build a successful business, whatever that is, just try to make sure that you're also putting in that same type of effort with your friends and your family, especially your loved ones, whether that's your wife, your fiance, girlfriend, your children. It's very, very important. And I think one place where we lose sight is, when we're talking about our lover, whether that's a wife, a fiance, or a girlfriend, or a boyfriend, husband, or otherwise, is that, after a while we tend to get comfortable, and we tend to, maybe kind of take things for granted a little bit and not put in the same type of effort that we did when we first got together. So, I think we can all relate, when you first meet somebody, you're getting those butterflies, and, everything is just amazing. You can't wait to see that person. You can't wait to hear their voice. You're pretty much willing to compromise and, do anything and do it happily. For instance, when you're, brand new dating, if your significant other asks you, hey, would you mind, running up to the grocery store to go grab this, or hey, would you mind, taking out the trash, or, hey, would you mind, taking care of, whatever task at hand that is needed. Oftentimes in a new relationship, you're going to be happy and be like, absolutely, no problem. Let me go ahead and take that off of your plate. I got you, babe, right? But then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years goes past, and then all of a sudden, those little requests that our significant other asks of us now become a chore, and we're not wanting to do those things. And if we do them, then we're reluctantly doing them with a poor attitude. So just try to keep in mind how you were when you first met your significant other and bring that same energy, right? So, if you're not bringing that same energy because they're not bringing the same energy, it all comes down to communication. You just got to be really open with each other. You got to be vulnerable with each other. And you just gotta control your emotions and just talk about how things are making you feel, and try to do it without, putting anybody down, or without, playing the blame game, because that oftentimes just does not work. But if you just talk about, the facts and kind of what's happening and how it's making you feel, and ask how can we, right, keyword we, so that you're not placing blame, because we all play a role into our relationships. It's never one-sided. Is ask how can we make things better? How can we change the dynamics, and how can we bring back that enthusiasm that we originally had? So, those are just some basic tips that I think sometimes we lose sight of. It's very easy to do. We all do it, but just keep top of mind. And, regarding, your children, this is where I would say I made a mistake, and I definitely counsel anyone with children, especially younger children, is I get that it's really tough when you're trying to raise a family and expenses are higher and you're trying to build yourself up in your career, but I will tell you that your children, you're never going to get that time back with them, especially those younger years when they're super eager to spend that time with you. Try to make sure that you are spending as much time with them as you can. And, for all you single parents out there, trust me, I was a single parent, so I totally get it. Finances were a major struggle, which is one of the reasons why I became a workaholic. So make sure, if your time is very limited, that when you're with your kids, you're 100% with them. You're not in your phone. You're not, out there just giving, your attention to something else or someone else. When you have your kids, when you're with them, be there 100%. Make sure you let them know that you love them, that you're proud of them. Help guide them and show them what it really means to be a productive, good member of society, what it means to be a great parent, and just give them your time, give them the effort, and try to always, remember, be patient. Obviously kids, sometimes they can test that patience. So that would just be my advice, because trust me, when your children become teenagers, unfortunately, they're not going to be clinging to your leg anymore. They're not going to be really wanting to spend every minute with you. And so when they're younger, that's when they're most impressionable. That's when, you can really guide and teach them a lot more than when they're going to be a teenager and they want to actually be around you. So, cherish that time, because we will not always have that as parents. And I will tell you that, once they become 12, 13, all the way until they're at least 18, 20 years old, from my experience, is, they're going to want to be doing their own thing. And then that's when you can, definitely turn on the heat a little bit, go into, hyperdrive, and, put even more effort into your career or your business, whatever that is. But I will tell you, if you're a parent with young ones, just try to do whatever you can to balance your career with spending time with your family, because again, that's where I feel like I made a mistake and I can't ever get that back. So with that, time and effort, and making sure that you're putting your family first, and a lot of that just has to do with communication as well, to continue having a healthy relationship in all of your relationships. So anyhow, with that said, hopefully you guys find some value and this might resonate with you a little bit. I mean, I could talk a lot more about this, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there for now. And if you guys had any other questions, or if you have comments that you'd like to leave, if you want to learn anything more, if you want me to go a little deeper into this subject matter specifically, please leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, and let me know you're listening. I appreciate it. I do this for you guys, and hopefully you guys are finding some value out of it. With that said, y'all have a blessed day. Peace.